Good evening or morning or afternoon, depending on when you watch this, and welcome to my Rising World series. I had recorded about 3.5 hours of getting to this place, but for some reason the recording does not want to be opened or edited. So I will just show you where I landed up and give you a very quick overview of what is to come. I have played ahead a little bit from here on, but my audio did not record on some of those. I was able to salvage some of the video materials, so I will be doing a sort of voiceover in post-production and editing it together to be a lot shorter than the actual game time is, because no one wants to sit here and watch a 3-hour video. My strategy for this game is to make a new file, and I did tinker with the settings and set mobs to act peaceful, to only retaliate, not engage combat, so we have a bit of buffer between us and combat essentially, so we can have a nice and relaxing experience, because I like the crafting and building and exploration part of this game more than I enjoy getting ambushed by ghosts at night, even if they wear torches, even if they carry torches. So we did change this setting, and I also adjusted the amount of ore to be found to a little higher than default, because it makes the only grind you have to do in this game less tedious, in essence. What I then did was I opened the map and navigated using the coordinates as far north as I possibly could get. Reasoning behind this is I would like to start my base and not have to move it later on. And by being as far north as we possibly can on the temperate map, it means we have a shorter distance to get to the Arctic, and we will have a longer distance to the desert, but we are allowed to have one fast travel option, aka a teleport to a tent. Sadly not two, but because we only want to go to the Arctic for a few very basic things and not going to stay there very long, I would rather have my teleport to the desert, and if we have to pop by the Arctic, we can, because we are quite close to it, just nip over using a boat later on. That is my reasoning behind why I wanted to get as far north as I could. It took me about 3-ish in-game days, I think I arrived on the 3rd in the late afternoon, to get here on foot, so I did have to make camp twice and sleep through the night. But it also means we came by quite a lot of points of interest, and we were able to craft a map which we would not otherwise have been able to for quite a bit. I used this map to just scan the area, and we were on the most northern part, where you can see on my map in the video later the little red house is, but I spotted the place I will be showcasing in this video, where I wanted to build my first base, because it's just geographically a very neat area, combining a lot of biomes while having access to both fresh and salt water. Salt water meaning we can travel to the Arctic and the desert, fresh water meaning we have fresh water to drink. And I asked some friends, where do you want me to build my base, what do you want to see? And there were some options in the room. What I decided on is going to be a little surprise in this video. It is going to be on a lake. So if you have what you see on the left here, you see the saltwater axis on the map, the little wildflower meadow and the big mountain in the back. And if we go towards the west here, just across this little hill and through the cattle, in the ditch you will see the lake emerge. that is the lake we want to build on, and I have already started to build this in my game time after. I just didn't include it in this video yet because it is a lot of tinkering and a lot of getting used to the controls and working with trying to work with the game and not lose my mind. It's not pretty yet, but it is a roof over my head, which is the main thing I was after. We have some horses, which is nice because that is the fastest inland travel option we will have later on. And I did catch or rope, whatever you want to call it, some livestock and pen them up just to the right here beside the mountain. And from this little ledge on the water we built into the lake. This is the moment where I was just scanning my surroundings, viewing the options. So we could build on the lake, we could build into the mountain, or we could build on the meadow, and that is why I then asked some friends and they were like, hey, this sounds cool, this sounds cool. So I picked the lake option just because it's not viable to do in the Arctic and it's not fun to do in the desert, but it sounded like a cool idea, so I was just going to do this here because I can. I'm not sure how good this is going to turn out. At the moment it looks very very much like it needs some work and love, but it is functional. And I recently discovered I actually can lock my doors, which is quite nice. So this is where we are going to go from here, and I hope to see you again to the next part where we will continue islands and build some more. Thanks for watching and good night.